Hello everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. Happy Memorial Day for those in the States who are celebrating and remembering those in our service who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So I just wanted to acknowledge that here at the beginning of the video. We're going to get into some crafting tonight. Before we do that, I do want to do some housekeeping right up here at the top. First things first, we have a giveaway for more kind of crafty mystery packages, kind of like, just stuff from my craft room. A lot of it's unused, just when I go through my crafty stash and I need to purge a little bit. So I've got 3 packages. And last week, all of the giveaway winners were picked randomly at the end of the live. And I said that this week I would leave the giveaway open for those who watch the replay. So this week I will announce the winners, next Monday. So you'll have a full week to enter. And I will put the winners' names in the video description, and I'll also email them. So you'll be able to see who won. It's open to everyone, international or US. And please only enter once. That's kind of the only rule. Yeah, and that's it. So the other housekeeping item is this Wednesday, I will be joining Erin from Hero Arts, as well as Jennifer McGuire and Kathy Silsky for a really fun live over on the Hero Arts YouTube channel. I think it'll probably be on my YouTube channel as well. I think we're going to simulcast it to a few different places. So you'll have a few different opportunities to watch it, but it should be a really fun conversation celebrating Hero's 45th anniversary. They have been in the business making stamps and helping us be crafty for 45 years. So that's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's get going here. I'm just going to here we go. I did lots of prep work. because I needed to cut stuff out with my Cricut. So I created this, basically I think this will be the 3rd time I've done kind of a variation on this shaker card, but I love it so much and I wanted to make a birthday card with it. So I think the first time I did a slimline shaker card like this was for a Valentine's Day card last year. And then I did one for Christmas. It said Merry, and then this one is going to say Happy, and I don't have a file for you, unfortunately. It was just a font in my Cricut, so there's really not a file for this one this time, but I did cut it out many times so that I could hopefully make it a little bit easier to do the whole shaker portion. So I have all the bits that I've cut out over here. I'm saving the letters because I could possibly use them on another card. Or I might even, if I've got time tonight, I'll use them here. I probably won't, but... Oh, it's 50, not 45. You were right. It is 50. 45 was in 2019 when I went and visited them. Hero Arts, 50 years. That is true. Okay. So I've just taken that off my Cricut mat. Of course, my little plastic protector is just out of reach, so I had to get out of my chair to go grab it. But I have cut out my little happy design, let's see, 6 times out of pink because I wanted it. I didn't want to have to deal with foam tape. I mean, you definitely could. I've done that in the past, but I thought it'd be easier not to. Okay, so I've got 2 there. And then I've got 4 here, so it'll be nice and thick. And I really don't think I need it quite that thick. I think I might take off the top 2 and it'll just be 4. But basically, I need to glue all of these together, and it's going to create all the little wells for my sequins to go into. Shelly, I have the Cricut Maker 3, I believe. Actually, that doesn't feel quite thick enough. I think I really do need to have these other 2. Yeah. So the sequins will really move around freely. I think I need to have those other 2. Okay, so I think I'm just going to use liquid glue. And I'm actually not going to have the pink be the top layer. The top layer is actually going to be white. But I thought it would just be kind of fun to have the pink you know, you could see the pink on the inside. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So the top layer is actually going to be white, but I'm going to, in fact, you know what? I probably don't need that top layer if I'm going to have the white on top. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to glue the white on yet because I'm going to put the acetate in between. Alrighty. Let's get going here. So I'm just going to add a bunch of glue all the way around. Then I'm going to get these kind of segments coming down right here. Doing some dabs of glue, and they're really tight spots. All right. Because it's liquid glue, it's going to give me a little bit of time to kind of get these just right. Okay. Some more glue right around those edges. Oh, Soph's going to sing for us again. Hey, Sophie. Come here. She can hear me talking. And she's like, why aren't I up there? Okay. Press that down. So when I did these card designs in the past, the first time I did it, I actually used a die from Pretty Pink Posh, I believe it was. They had an XOXO die, and it was nice and big like this. It was perfect for putting on a slimline card. And so I didn't cut that multiple times. I just used foam, and I put foam only around the outer edges so the shaker bits could move freely all the way across the words or across the letters. I did a similar construction of the card when I did the word Merry for Christmas. And this time, since I'm not going to have it open all in the middle, like the shaker bits are going to be contained to each letter, I thought it would be kind of fun to have each letter a different color of sequins or little shaker bits. So I'm going to do it kind of rainbow colors because those are just happy and perfect for a birthday card. And then for the ink blending behind, I thought I would do, you know, a coordinating color. So like the H will all be, you know, it'll be pinks, you know. I have a plan here. So the dimensions for this particular slimline card are 8.5 wide by 3.5 tall. And that seems to be a good enough size that it'll fit into a size 10 business envelope with a little bit of room to spare. So it'll be good for this shaker card. Okay, I've got to go grab some acetate or window plastic, whatever you want to call it. And that'll go on the front of the pink area. I'm just using some acetate from Simon Says Stamp. Just grabbing a sheet. And I'm going to cut it at my trimmer real quick here. I'm just going to cut it to a little bit smaller. So like 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. So that it's just a little bit smaller than the front of my card. So it's going to go in right there. I can glue that right on top. Yeah, slimline measurements can vary. For shaker cards, I like to keep them only 3.5 tall because you're going to need that extra space because of the thickness of the card. But you definitely can have it be a little larger. In fact, I generally prefer my slimline cards to be more like 4 inches because I think it's just a little easier instead of having such a very slim card. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'll put my acetate down. Okay. See, that glue is kind of squidging out in some areas. I'm going to turn this over. You know what? I'm going to try to not touch the glue that's squidging out in these spots because the glue will eventually dry clear. So I'm not too concerned about it. All right. And now we're going to put the white right on top. So I'm going to once again do glue all around the outer edges. And then after I have all of these layers glued down, I'm going to put some heavy paperweights on top. So it'll really help everything dry down nice and flat while we work on the back wall of the shaker. All right, so there that is right there. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to take my 2 Handmade Kindness paperweights and I'll just put that right there. I almost need one that's even bigger. Just so I can, actually, you know what? Do I have the bigger one? I swear I do. Hold on. I thought I bought the bigger one. Maybe not. Got these big acrylic blocks that I can put down, and then that'll put the weight on top. Ta-da! Okay. I'm going to come back and glue the centers of the A and the 2 capital P's, but for now I'm just going to set that aside for a moment. Okay. I'm glad I have an extra one of these that I decided not to use because we need to work on the back wall of our shaker. It's going to have some ink blending on it. And I need to mark exactly where each letter is so that I can make sure that I ink blend that area. All right, so I think what I'll do, yeah, I'll just very lightly outline the 2 sides, you know, the 2 sections of each, you know, the side of each letter. Okay. So that's going to give me kind of an idea of where I need to contain my ink blending. And then I'm going to erase the lines right before I ink blend. I want to have, here's my plan. These are the sequins I'm going to have for each letter. Isn't that going to be so cute? All rainbowy. I'm so excited. So I'm going to do like some pinks here, yellows here, greens here, a kind of a tealish blue here, and then purple here. So I'm going to get some Post-it tape or some masking. I could probably actually do it with Post-it notes, but I'm just getting some masking tape so I can mask things off as I ink blend. Just getting a couple pieces of masking tape. Okay. And I'm going to ink blend on top of this paper because I think it'll just be a lot less messy. Yes, the Handmade Kindness acrylic blocks are so good. I love them. Sliding this off to the side a little bit so I can have this right here. Okay. And then just because this is the back wall of the shaker and most of it will be covered, but I don't want any of the color to be showing on the edge. So I'm actually going to kind of mask off the bottom right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can kind of see where the bottom edge is. And that's also just going to kind of hold it in place for my ink blending. And now I can come in and this is the area for the pink color. And I'm going to erase those lines. Sorry, it's really bright in here. It's a little hard to see. But now I'll just erase the lines that were kind of like a guide for showing where that would be. All right, so for the pink shades, this is the color. These are the colors I chose. I've got Bubblegum and Taffy from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to be using all Simon colors today. Super easy. I love that they kind of come in like trios. So there's a light and a dark. The masking tape I'm using is from Post-it, 3M Post-it removable labeling tape. It's 2 inches wide. It's kind of been a staple in my craft room for ages. I think I had my last roll for like 10 years before I needed to replace it. Just moving this off to the side. There we go. All right, I'm going to start with the lighter shade, which is Bubblegum. And I want it to still have some white at the top. So I'm going to kind of blend up and maybe stop maybe like 2/3 up. All right, after I've done the lighter shade, I'm going to go to the darker shade Taffy. And I really just want to intensify the color at the very bottom. And maybe like get it to blend up just a little bit. You might be able to do this with just one color, but I thought it'd be nice to have 2 colors so I could really get an intense shade at the bottom and not have it, you know, like overwhelm anything. All right, I'm just gonna make sure that looks good. That looks great. So now we're gonna move on to the next color. So I'm going to peel up my masking tape here, and I'm just gonna move it over to right here. Move this over right there. And then I'll take my eraser and I'll erase those lines. And I'll move on to my next set of colors. So now I've got Lemonade and Citrine. Starting with Lemonade, it's the lighter yellow. And I'm worried about that color blending in from those edges. So I'm actually going to turn this around. Didn't even think about that until just now, but I'm glad I did. Okay. So now I've got clean edges, and I'm going to bring in the yellow from the bottom. And then move to the more intense yellow, Citrine. It's almost like an orangey yellow. In fact, I might go grab a little bit of orange. Actually, no, this is good. This is darkening up. Kind of see that in the shadow. It's like right there. So let's make sure that's going to look good with the A. Looks great. All right, moving on to the green. And I'm not too concerned about the yellow mixing in with the green. So I'm just going to go ahead and use those same edges again. Because it's kind of a bright green anyway, you know? Oh, hello. That's cute. I just got, like, do you see that? I just got a yellow streak from my eraser. That's okay. I don't think it will show very much. At least I hope not. Kind of erasing kind of helps. Let's see. Will that show? You know what? It will just a tiny bit, but that's okay. I'll just keep going. All right. So the green shades, I've got Celery and Fairway. So I'm starting with Celery first. Kind of blending that up. I think there was like a brighter green on this. It's actually not quite the right color. That's okay, whatever. It's still green. Then we're moving to Fairway. Focusing on this side because that's where the bottom area of the P will be. Perfect. All right, and I think it would be wise to what is happening? Oh, you guys, look at this. I think I have to start the blending over again. Look what happened. I didn't even notice it. And it's going to be like super noticeable. Actually, I don't think it'll be that bad. It's just like right here. There's a little bit of that pink. I think I can salvage it. We're going to keep going. This is where we learn to always use new Post-it tape. And it lasts forever, so I'm not that concerned about using lots of Post-it tape. Okay. Masking this off. And this one can kind of be at a little bit of a diagonal because of the Y. Okay. All right, and then we're moving on to our kind of tealish blue color. So I'm using Seafoam and Ocean, starting with Seafoam. I think my Seafoam ink pad needs to be re-inked. It's not real juicy at the moment. Okay. Going on to Ocean. I think this is one of my favorite blue shades. Well, I really like Tide Pool too, but Ocean's such a pretty color. Okay. And on to the last section. See, look at that. It picked up the green on the bottom. I think it's just picking up what's on the Post-it tape. All right. Switching to clean Post-it tape. Actually, well, yeah, I will need it on this one edge. I'll just mask off that area. And then use my eraser. And we're going to our last purple shade, which is Heather and Iris. I'm going to start with Heather. Once again, I just want it to fade to white up at the top. Moving to a more intense purple, which is Iris. It's a very intense purple, but I love it so much. All right, I'm using a lighter and lighter hand as I kind of go towards the top. Okay. Lovely. Now we can peel up all this masking tape and we can see what the background looks like. I'm pretty confident it'll be just fine. Let's see. Pamela's asking, what is the best white cardstock to get smooth ink blending? I find that Neenah Classic Crest Solar White is really smooth, but if you're having trouble getting really good blending on it, try with a blending brush. And then also you can get really, really, really easy blending on Bristol paper. So yeah, that works too. All right, got my card base here. I decided to make the card base out of that same pink. I just need to score it. Trying to find where I put my score, buddy. There it is. So this is cut to 8.5 wide by 7 tall, I guess, 7 tall, but I'm going to be scoring it at 3.5. So since my scoreboard isn't quite long enough, I'm going to score it and then rotate. Now I have my lovely card base. Just get that with my bone folder really well. And then I can glue my card base down directly to the card front. All right, so I'm just gonna put some tape runner adhesive on it. This is Tombow Extreme adhesive. It's super, super strong. Like after you press, like even just lightly place it down, you're not gonna be able to move it. But that's why I love it, because it's super, super strong. I never have issues with my cards falling apart. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so now we need to actually build the shaker. Getting rid of all my acrylic blocks that I brought out to help weigh down my shaker area. And it's going to go on top just like that. And then when you tip it, you can see the pink. Isn't that fun? I thought that was really fun. And I'm glad that all of my little boo-boos aren't really showing, just that one little spot, which is not bad. Not that bad. Okay, so we're actually going to build the shaker itself using the corner of my little score buddy here, so that when I go to adhere the card, I can just come in and get that lined up in the corner and press it directly down on top, and it should match up perfectly, in theory. Strathmore Bristol paper. It's, I think it's just super smooth. Let me grab it and I'll show you what it looks like. I just happened to have used it last week, so I've got it right out here. So it's Strathmore Bristol. Looks like it's 100 pound. But you want smooth surface. They have another version that's vellum, but yeah. It might hide behind the middle of the A. What are you talking about? Oh, the little spot. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And I also need to put the interiors of my letters on the card still, so we'll do that here at the end. Yes, Gina K paper has a nice, what's the word? Like coating on it, so it blends really smoothly too. Okay, so we're putting the pink in the H. So a bunch of these aren't sold anymore. They're from Lucy's Cards, but I'll mention what the sequin mix as it is as I use it. This is Sleeping Beauty from Lucy's Cards. I'm going to try to be really careful as I put these in. I don't need a ton because I do want some of the blending to show through, you know? But I also want them to be able to move just a tiny bit, but there's really not a whole lot of space there to move. Okay. This one is Sunshine from Simon Says Stamp. There's a little more area to move around on this one. I might take a few out. Okay. The green is Spring Green from Simon Says Stamp. For the P, for the blue, I've got Caribbean Dream from Lucy's Cards. This one even has some beads in it. That's fun. Just kind of moving them around, trying to flatten it out as the best that I can. And then the purple is Sugar Plum from Lucy's Cards. And I only have a little bit of this one left. I've used it before. There's really not much space for this to move around too much. I want to make sure I get the purple sequins in there. So there we go. I have a sequin that is like stuck to my hand, like stop sticking everywhere. Too much static, right? All right, you want to make sure all the sequins are completely inside each area, none of them poking out. Got a few that want to keep poking out. Stop it. Okay, and then I'm going to have to do liquid glue right up to the edge of each of these. I probably should have cut one of them with adhesive on the back, but I wasn't thinking. Okay, so I've got the glue here. And I'm going to go around the outer edge first, and then I'm going to go in really close. I mean, I'm not that concerned if some sequins get stuck right up at the edge, but oh my word, I'm getting like sequins stuck to my glue bottle. Perhaps this was not the best idea. Oh well. You know what? I think this is the first time I've ever tried to use cardstock as like the thicker wale area for a shaker card. I might come to regret it. Because you really do have to get glue around every single edge. All right, get a little more glue on this outside edge again. And then putting my card, oh, I've got a sequin over here that's stuck. Okay, I'm just gonna hold this down for a minute. Yeah, the middles are gonna go on the top of the acetate because the white is on top of the acetate. All right, before I do anything, I'm just gonna let that sit there. And I'm gonna put my paperweights on it. And we're gonna have to wait to see what it looks like until after I have stamped my grading. So it says happy, and then I've got this stamp set called Mini Messages Birthday from Honeybee. And I thought I would do, I'm gonna finish birthday, so it's happy, happy birthday, and then maybe a secondary greeting that says like wishing you the happiest day or something like that. All right, I've got my Misty. So sorry you guys can't see it. I don't want to move this very much until I know it's completely dry. But I'm going to do my little greetings. Just gonna stamp them in white and then do white heat embossing powder. So, and then I'll cut them out. All right. So happy birthday, and then wishing you the happiest day. I think that's what I wanted. So we'll do happy birthday. Wishing you the happiest day. And I'll be cutting these out separately so they don't need to necessarily be like anywhere particular on the cardstock. All right. I'm going to use my anti-static powder tool really liberally because I want this to emboss really well. And then I'm stamping my gradings in white pigment ink. This is from Simon Says Stamp. Nice little gentle stamp there. I'm actually going to stamp that twice. Lovely. Grab a baby wipe to clean the pigment ink off my stamps. Yeah, Brandon, I thought of doing that, but I wanted to do the individual colors in each letter. My previous versions of this card were created exactly how you're suggesting, where I had it as one big well. I guess you could also be suggesting each letter is like a rectangle. That's different, but it's kind of the same idea. All right, I've got some Brutus Monroe Alabaster embossing powder. I'm just gonna let it sit there on top. Sometimes I like shake it off right away and then I realize I didn't even give it a chance to really stick to the ink, you know? Okay. I'll hit this with my heat tool until it's melted. Okay, and then to get all of that residual powder off of the cardstock, I'm going to first let this cool off a little bit and then use a microfiber towel, like a rag, and wipe it off. And it really grabs onto that powder and takes it off. And especially like once I cut these down, you won't be able to see any of the powder. But you can use a little bit of pressure and like really press into the cardstock and it gets that powder. Okay. Trying to decide if an X-Acto knife or scissors would be easier for this. I think I'm going to try a ruler with a craft knife. Just to get these lines cut really straight. Oh, and I totally have my ruler upside down. I do light cuts, but many of them. This is some really thick black cardstock. It's pitch black cardstock from Hero Arts. Okay. And I'll just get this top line now on the happy birthday. And then it will be time to flip the card over, and let's hope no sequins decided to get in the way. I don't think they did, but all right. Okay. I'm gonna make you wait even a little bit longer. I've got foam tape that I can put behind my greetings here. I like some narrow foam. So I can put it, actually, you know what? I don't want it on foam. I'm gonna glue it directly onto the card because, well, yeah, I'm not gonna do it because the card's already pretty thick as it is. And if it's gonna go through the mail, I don't want it to be even thicker and have like spots popped up, you know? I'm just thinking about when I actually send the card. Okay, here we go. Oh, I love it. Everything's shaking around. I love it. Oh no, I've got like a piece of cardboard or something in it. Oh, that's annoying. And it doesn't move. Do you guys see that right there? It is so annoying. What is that? Okay, I got it to move. Oh well. It's a stowaway. It's just gonna be there. That's fine. Okay, so for the interior letters. Hey, Sophie. What are you doing? I'm just putting these in so then I can grab the centers and glue them in. Sophie. Hey, Soph, what's the deal? Come here. All right, I'm gonna grab a little Gina K, I think it's pick and stick tool, I think that's what it's called. Put a little glue. And just pick that up. Put that directly in that spot. Some people like the look of like the interiors of letters blocked out. I like it when it's all finished, you know? So I'm always gonna like puzzle piece these pieces back in. Okay. Then I can very carefully pop this out without, oh, I moved it, dang it. Go back, go back. Glue was not dry enough yet. Okay. Now I know to be super careful. Okay, there we go. All right, so perhaps I should have put the pink under those areas too, but that's okay. I could have built it from the start, but ooh, you know what's so interesting? The back wall of the shaker is slightly off. Do you guys see that? Like there's just a little bit of white right there, and then over, you know, it's such a small detail. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. So we're going to do happy birthday. Wishing you the happiest day. Just trying to decide exactly where I want to put it. I think I kind of want it down here. I think Sophie is wanting attention. We changed her food and she doesn't like the new food. But we're like, Soph, you got to give it more than just a couple of days try, please. And she eventually will go eat it. But that's how she is. Okay, I think I want it just like a little bit skewed so it looks playful. I think that's kind of fun. There we go. Glue that down. And then I'm going to grab an envelope because Honeybee has a stamp set that has the cutest greetings to send to someone with a birthday card when you're mailing it to them. Let me find the stamp set. It is so cute. And then I'm going to grab an envelope. A white envelope is probably a good idea. All right, so this is, these are just number 10 envelopes. All right, so here's an envelope. And this is the stamp set called Across the Miles. And look at this one down here, Flying Across the Miles with a Birthday Wish. Isn't that cute? And then the birds sing sweetly, the sun shining bright, shall make this glad birthday a time of delight. So it's got like an inside and outside saying. But I thought this would be so perfect on the flap of the envelope. Isn't that cute? All right. Okay. So let's see, shall we go rogue and do it on an acrylic block? Some of you who are new to stamping in the last like 5 years or so, or maybe even longer, are like, what? An acrylic block? What is that? Those of us who've been around a while, we can use an acrylic block. All right. So then I can just stamp that right there. And I think I'll just do it in black because I think it'll look really nice. So I'm going to use some VersaFine Onyx Black. Oh, I can hear Daphne walking around. Lovely. Oh, I've got a little bloop right there. I think it's on the stamp itself. I'm not going to worry about it. It's close enough. Actually, I am going to worry about it. I'm going to do it on stamp a different envelope. Okay. Oh, and I totally had black on my finger. I'm just batting 1,000 today, I'm telling you. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. I believe in you, Christina. All right. Just gonna, you know what? Where I went wrong. I've forgotten that when you do an acrylic black and it's a new stamp, it's always a good idea to do a little test run to make sure it stamps right. Okay. Beautiful. Yes, I generally do better with the MISTI too. There's less opportunity for error, but I didn't want to have to figure out how to put, like, have it in a MISTI and have it hanging out the side, you know? I guess it's not that big of a deal, but sometimes I just like to change things up, you know? I got to keep myself on my toes. All right, y'all. We're almost done here. Sounds like Jackie's phone is about to die anyway. All right, so that was Across the Miles. Such a cute stamp set. All right. So here's the card, and it should fit just in, oh yeah, it totally fits in without any problem at all. And I should be able to mail that without any issue. Looks great. Even if it is a little bit of a thicker card. Looks fantastic. Oh my word, look at all this. And our little friend up there. Like, you know, I wish he wasn't there, but that's okay. So fun. I love shaker cards. I'm going to keep shaking this up until I can see if I can get that to come down and hide amongst all of the sequins. I think I can get it. Okay. I almost got it almost kind of behind. Okay. I'm hoping I can get it kind of behind the subgratings. Oh, you can't. Well, it's right up at that edge right now. You can't really see it. I'm just going to go with it. Lovely. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to do a little ending for those watching the edited replay. And then I'll stick around for just a minute or two just to catch any questions that I'm sure I've missed. Because, you know, I was busy crafting and I didn't see them. Okay. So here's the card for tonight's live stream. I love all those sequins, sparkling and moving around. I think some of my lessons learned are not really barely visible, you know, especially if the sequins kind of go in front or anything like that. Learned a lot of lessons doing this one. Some different ways to put things together. I think it turned out great. Just a reminder that I will be with Aaron from Hero Arts for his Hanging with Hero live stream on, let's see, it's Wednesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I think I'm going to be streaming that here on my channel, as well as he'll have it over on the Hero Arts channel. I think Jennifer McGuire might have it on hers too. There'll be multiple places for you to watch, and I hope you'll join us. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Okay. All right, here we are. Finished up the card. We're all good. Yeah, it went really fast today. I think it would have been really cool to kind of have like some gray stripes here at the bottom. I'm just thinking of different ways I could like modify this card. Oh, thank you, Amber. Those colors are so nice, and the vibrant pink back against the white front is particularly striking. Thanks. I was hoping it would work out. This is why I love Christina, because I see how much we have in common. What do we have in common? I missed it. Let's see. Christy's asking, What's the option to an acrylic block? I'm missing something here. I just decided to use an acrylic block versus using a MISTI. MISTI is generally what people use these days instead of an acrylic block, just for some like freehand stamping. I like to use an acrylic block. Let's see here. Did I prep my stamp? I didn't. I don't think that would have caused the issue that I had with that first stamping though. I think there was a little fuzz on the actual stamp itself. I should have done a practice stamp that would have caught it. Let's see here. Yes, Rosie. While the acrylic block has its uses, MISTI saved my crafty life. It's true. It really changed things for the better. Oh my word, my cat is freaking out. Sophie! Sophie! Hey, Soph, come here. Come here, come see us. Come here, Soph. Yeah. Beth says we changed our cat's treats, and after 5 days he broke us and we went back. Yeah. The thing with Sophie, okay, so she was on a new food prescription because she's got IBD. And then there was a mix-up and whatever. We ran out for a few days and we went back to her old food, and now her tummy doesn't feel good. And that's partially why I think she's meowing a lot. But the new food has shipped and is on its way, or that I should say the new prescription food that made her tummy feel better is back. It should be here like tomorrow or the day after. So hopefully it'll be good. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling back to see if I catch anything else. Okay, I'm scrolling back down. Right, Kathleen? It wouldn't be a true life without Sophie in the background. It's true, it's true. Renee's asking, would you consider doing a Cricut tutorial on how you made this? Well, it is literally just a font. I drew a box that was the size I wanted, and then I selected a font and like made it big enough to fill the box. That's essentially what I did. I don't, do we need a tutorial for that? I don't know that we do, but I would say try that with your Cricut. What is it? Design Space or something? Yeah, Cricut Design Space. Try that. It's actually very, very simple, and you can make it whatever font you want. You just want to try to find a font that's like kind of really thick and more skinny. Let's see here. Sophie, wow, she's angry. All right. Good, I'm glad that helped. Okay, well, you know what else I got in the mail this week? Hold on, let me get this open so I'm not putting my home address on blast on the internet. Hold on. So Olo Markers sent me a set of their new colors, and then they, but they only sent me half, so then I had to purchase the other half myself, and the other half came. So here are the new colors, and last week for my premium members, I did like an impromptu live where I was swatching everything. And so I did finish my swatch chart for the new colors. Hold on, I'm grabbing my little IKEA cart that has my Olos on it. So here's the swatch chart with all of the new colors included. So, ta-da! I just need to put them together because I don't have them all stacked. You know, like the 2 brush tips together. Olos, if you buy a full set, I believe they're like 10 or 15% off right now. So see, like I have this one right here, and then I'm going to grab the other one, and then they have connectors that put them together. So I just put them together. Yeah, Olo has 160 colors now. I think it's a really good color range. Okay. And I have them kind of in rainbow order on my cart where I store them. So I probably should put these in the color order that got them here. Sounds like thunder. Yeah, it kind of does. It's just a rolling cart across my hardwood floor. So I also recently just purchased Sandy Allnock's hex chart. I really love her Copic hex chart, so I went and purchased the new one. And I believe she announced that if you bought the previous version, you can just download the new version. Like you get the updated version. So if you bought one before with the other colors, you just need to go re-download it, I believe. RV 1.1. Kathleen's asking, are looking refillable? You're wondering if they are refillable? Basically, when you buy a refill, it comes with just this half with no brush tip. So you take the brush tip off your old one that has no ink, you put it into the refill, and then put your cap on it. It does not come with a cap, so you have to save your cap and your brush tip and put that on the refill barrel. But basically that's how they do their refills, which is kind of nice because then there's like no mess. Okay, RV 1.3. Sophie! Wow, she's angry. She will be very happy once her food arrives, and we will be very happy as well. She just ate like an hour and a half ago, but I think her tummy's not doing so good. 1.5. She does have medicine for it, and you know, she's working through it. How do you match them up? It's the same color on both ends. So essentially, they sent me a box like this that I got last week. And then I was like, oh, I need the other end to make them full markers. So then I bought another set. So if you don't want to have like a full marker, you could actually have like 2 different colors, you know, one on each end. Like maybe like these 2 colors are similar, like it's a YG 1.2 and a YG 1.4. You could put those together on one marker, and then you don't necessarily have to have both. Does that make sense? But since I already had my original colors that were like a full set like that, I decided to do it for this one too. Okay, so this one's BV 1.1, so this one's 1.1. All right, y'all, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to continue matching up my Olos, and then I think I'm going to color my hex chart as well, so I can refer to that for coloring. But thank you all for joining me today for this, what is it, day 8 of birthday month. We've got just a couple more days, and then we'll be moving on to, I don't know what the theme's going to be for June. I might not have a theme at all. I might just decide to just go with whatever. But if you have a suggestion for a theme, oh my gosh, now she's up here. Sophie, let me see if I can grab her. Hey, what are you doing? Hi, can we have a nice meow? Can we have a nice meow? Come say hello. All right. She doesn't like to be on her back, so you won't be able, you can, okay, here we go. You can just see her. See her little paws. Hi, Soph. She just wants some attention. Hi. Hi, Soph. Is that what you just needed, some attention? You needed some loves? Because now she's quiet. You needed some loves? Okay. I'm going to go now. And then I can almost guarantee she's going to start meowing again. Yep. How did I know? Too funny. Yeah, she's got some nice stripes. She does sound like a crying baby. She used to not sound like one. Oh, I totally just dropped a marker. She used to not sound like a crying baby. She was definitely just like a, you know, like normal. But now her meow has changed. And it's like kind of almost like an angry meow. And I'm like, dude, she sounds like a crying baby. Too funny. All right, y'all. Have a lovely evening. I will catch up with you in another video very soon. Oh, one more question. Debbie says, so do you have the brush tip on one end and chisel on the other, or both brush? I do brush on both ends because I realize I rarely ever use a chisel tip. And if I really wanted to swap it out, I could just buy chisel tips and swap them out. I could keep the marker, but just change the tip. All right. Have a lovely evening, you all. I will catch you in another video very soon. Talk to you later. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.